What's up, everybody? My name's Big Cam and welcome back to another A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms video. Just yesterday my breakdown came out for episode 1, the Hedge Knight of A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms, the Game of Thrones spin-off show. And through one episode I am very highly enjoying what they've showed us so far, even though episode 1 was a bit more of a slow burn than some of the Game of Thrones or House of the Dragon episodes were, you know, but just really the vibe of it I'm loving so far, and it seems like other people are liking it too. It's right now sitting, the last time I looked at least, it was 87% on Rotten Tomatoes, certified fresh with 55 critic reviews. So yeah, the pretty decent score. I'm curious to see, you know, what the score will be by the end of the season. But I am absolutely here for this, and I can't wait to have this be, you know, the HBO show I'm watching every Sunday. Can't wait to chat about it every week with y'all. But there was a teaser trailer for the weeks ahead of A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms, and I think this isn't just a trailer for like next episode. I think it's going to be a trailer for like the whole season coming forward, and there was some really interesting stuff I saw in this. So why don't we take a look at this trailer and do a little breakdown and reaction to this trailer and see what we notice. But let's jump right on into it, shall we?
This city is too small for us, Dunk. I never got nothing by waiting around. You want a family? Go out there, get a family.
A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms. So we see HBO original, and it looks like little young Dunk. So the flashbacks we saw in episode 1 of him getting beaten at various different ages by Sir Arlen, it looks like young Dunk here has been always poor, but he looks like he's in some type of city, and we're going to be seeing flashbacks of young Dunk from his childhood, and it looks like he's taking horseshoes off of a dead horse maybe, and you know, he seems like he's on some type of battlefield. That looks like maybe King's Landing in the background, maybe Riverlands or something. But yeah, big battle here. Maybe that was like the Blackfire Rebellion or something. I've been seeing a lot of people talking about that because that apparently took place right before A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms. I'm not, you know, as into the books as everybody else, but I really loved the shows, so I'm watching it just from that perspective as somebody that's just a big fan of the shows, and maybe I'll get into the books eventually. But yeah, Dunk's talking to this girl in like these tunnels, and she's like, this town's too small for us, Dunk. If you want a family, go get a family, as we see a cross shot from him holding a piece of armor. The same armor I believe we see Egg wearing on the back of Thunder in episode 1. And, you know, cross shots from that shot of him holding the helmet into him, you know, about to start his first joust, and he's got, you know, full knight's armor on. And yeah, then it cuts to the title card, Knight of the Seven Kingdoms. But on to the next portion of this trailer.
Ser Arlen taught me sword and shield, away from castles and servants.
Someone will remember him. He spoke of his time in your service as his very finest.
I know him not, man.
This is undignified, sir.
No, goose eggs, like
Goose eggs. You must think me a fool.
All men are fools.
Hedge Knight.
Will you heed my call to war?
All men are knights.
Shut up.
Oh god, I already just love like Dunk and Egg together. You know, he sees a pretty girl that Dunk likes and is talking to, and he's like, oh, you know, like they're like big bro, little bro, more than dad and son type of vibe. But yeah, absolutely love the vibe of this already. But he's like, Sir Arlen taught me sword and shield away from castle walls. So like, you know, he's not like all the other knights, and he still needs somebody to remember Sir Arlen to, you know, justify his knighthood. But it also kind of implies that maybe Ser Arlen never officially made Dunk a knight, so this is him trying to become a knight, you know what I mean, and carve his own path into the world. And it seems like he goes to somebody else and he also does not remember him, so this seems like it's going to be some challenge for Dunk. He's going to have to find somebody that remembers Ser Arlen, and he might be the only one that does, you know. But then we see him come across the gorgeous woman from the play, and in the first episode. Apparently her name is Sansel Too Tall, and they're perfect for each other because she's a very tall woman, he's a very tall man, so both of their eye lines are well above everyone else's heads, so of course they made eye contact right away. And you know, he's asking a looks like a farmer type guy in the town for eggs, and he almost kills a goose for those eggs. He's like, no, I don't need the goose, I just need the goose eggs. You're probably trying to cook some breakfast for egg, getting goose eggs for egg. But he's like, you must think me a fool, and she's like, all men are knights. And then we see our boy, the laughing knight, Sir Lionel Baratheon. He goes, Ser Duncan, will you heed my call to war? And for a second I was like, oh boy, is he gonna have to fight in battle with the Baratheons against somebody? But no, it's tug of war. So not only are we going to see this tournament and jousting and real battles on the, you know, jousting field, we're gonna see it within this tournament and within this like village with all these tents and shit, they're going to be having, you know, fun games, little side quest games as well, such as tug of war, you know. And like, what could be more primitive and awesome than a bunch of guys pulling a rope above some mud and the losers fall in the mud, you know? Like, tug of war still getting done today, and this is a medieval game for sure. Love that. But also love that Dunk is, you know, gonna have a little bit of a love interest. If you guys know from the channel, I'm a sucker for a love story, so I absolutely am eating it up that Dunk's a nice guy. He's got this drunk pal of his with the laughing knight. He's got Egg, his little bro. He's got this girl that he's gonna be interested in. So I am absolutely here for this story so far, and I absolutely want to see more. So let's jump into the next portion of this trailer.
After the tournament, I can stay in as your squire. Come on!
If I lose my first joust, I'll scarcely be a knight.
But if you win,
Mind your pride, Ser Duncan. There are princes about.
he's touching her!
Duncan, no!
Ooh, that was a bad move, Dunk. Mind your pride, Sir Dunk. There's princes about. So there's a Targaryen prince. We don't know his name yet. Maybe Aeron or something like that. Daeron something. Either way, this Targaryen prince seems to break Sansel's finger or something. And Egg's like, he's hurting her. So Dunk springs into action and smacks the hell out of him, flips him over on his back, and then gets held back by 3 guards as he's sitting there looking at him with blood in his face. And he almost seems like, oh wow, you were willing to test me. Okay, you know, like it seems like maybe this Targaryen has found the man that he wants to challenge, you know? Or maybe he's just spiteful and he's like, I'm gonna kill you for that. I don't know. Depends what kind of Targaryen he is. But at the beginning of that clip, Egg's like, after the tourney, I'll stay on as your squire. So it seems like Egg is enjoying his time with Dunk. But Dunk is realistic. He's like, listen, if I lose one joust, I'll hardly be a knight. I won't have my horses. I'll have no money. I'll have nothing, you know? Like, and then we see, you know, some brief shots of him on a battlefield, and we just see Peter Coughley's eyes, you know, peering out from the back of this helmet in just smoke on this battlefield. He's got a lance, he's on his war horse, you know, and yeah, poor Sansel. I wonder what she did to deserve getting hurt by this prince, or if he's just a prick. I would have done the same thing, honestly. Fuck the prince. I'm here for the lady. Fuck you, you know, and I'm sure that was a dumb move, but I'm sure that it will gain the lady's favor for sure. She'll be appreciative that he came to defend her honor, you know. But on to the final portion of this clip, and we'll see what kind of repercussions Dunk is going to receive for striking a prince.
It is never wise to strike a king's grandson. I have no choice. Trial by combat must be held at dawn.
That means battle axes and lances of war.
I know what it means.
I always knew you meant trouble.
Come out, little knight. It's time you face the dragon.
Hell yeah. A Night of the Seven Kingdoms airing Sundays at 10 p.m. Why does it have to be 10 p.m.? Can it not be 8? Fuck. I think it's 10 p.m. so that it's 7 p.m. on the West Coast. Fuck y'all. Like, even if it's like a reasonable time over here, it's still like 5 o'clock over there. Like, fucking Christ. Fuck the West Coast. Like, oh, God, air this at a reasonable time, but 10 o'clock it is. See you guys on HBO and see you guys the next couple days for the breakdown episodes. But A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, man, it looks like our boy Dunk is going to have to do a trial by combat because he struck a prince, and I think that's Baelor or something like that. It looks like maybe he's the hand of the king by that thing on his chest there. But yeah, the other squire that he saw that was getting beaten up by his cousin in episode 1, he's like, that's like lances and swords and shit and axes. He's like, I know what it means. So it looks like Dunk does not want to be in this battle, but the Laughing Knight sees him walking out and he's like, I always knew you meant trouble. And then yeah, our boy doesn't have, you know, the shiniest, brightest, nicest armor the way that the Targaryen kid does, where he's got like armor that makes it look like he's a dragon, and his mask, you know, looks like it's on fire. And yeah, it looks like Dunk has a very realistic battle. He takes a sword to the knee. You know, he just takes an absolute beating, and he's on the ground. And then we see Egg like, Ser Duncan, get up, get up. And our boy Dunk, you know, it seems like maybe he's not the best fighter or, you know, the most trained knight at this moment in time, but he refuses to stay down and refuses to give up, and that's maybe why he wins, because at the end of that clip, we see, you know, the Targaryen prince turn around like, is this motherfucker still going? And we see Dunk absolutely covered in blood and just like raising his sword like, come on, come on, you want some? Come get some. Oh God, I can't wait. I love this show so far. I love the idea of it where it's just like, this is guy, Ser Duncan the Tall, is gonna be in a tournament, and like he's gonna have to defend his woman's honor, gonna have to go up against Targaryen princes. It's just such a different vibe than House of the Dragon or Game of Thrones, and I kind of like the small scale of it all. But also, like, I know season 2 and 3 is greenlit already for this show, so for me, where like it's more so just hanging out with Dunk and Egg. Like, I'm already vibing with the two of them. So if those two are our main characters, and you're telling me we have 3 seasons to look forward to of them going through adventures together and experiencing shit, I am totally down just to see how that goes. I mean, much like Stranger Things, love it or hate it. I mean, for me, I just watched it recently, so like, going from season 1 to season 5, is it the best show ever? No. But is it highly entertaining to just hang out with those kids? Like, at a certain point, I wasn't even interested in the writing or what's going on in the show. I just wanted to hang out with Rockin' Robin, Steve, Dustin, you know, the whole gang. At a certain point, I was just there for the characters, and I was like, man, I don't want to see this end because I want to see these people and these characters do more. But that's just me. I hate to see stuff end, so I'm very excited that this isn't just going to be a one-off season, one and done, and then we're over with. Already greenlit for 3 seasons on HBO, so we're gonna have yet another Game of Thrones show continue on and keep going. And rumor has it recently that there has been another Game of Thrones spin-off show in the works, and for years it was talked that it might have been a Jon Snow spin-off show. Maybe that has now kind of fizzled out and is on the back burner, but now the rumor is that there's a show that could star Arya Stark and continue on the Game of Thrones, you know, universe and continue that story, right? Because that comes much later than even this story, right? Where this is set directly in between House of the Dragon and Game of Thrones. And we still have House of the Dragon Season 3 coming later this summer, and I think that's going to be the final season, maybe, or maybe there will be one more after that, but I think Season 3 is going to be a banger for House of the Dragon, and I can't wait. But that show takes longer to film and do the VFX for, because obviously they're making dragons, where this show is pretty much just a guy with a sword and a shield. They can do this show pretty practically. Like, I don't think there's a whole lot of VFX in this show, and if there is, it's very minimal and subtle and stuff that like you won't even notice, you know. So shout out to the VFX artists for making invisible effects in this show. in the cast and crew, in the costume department, the set design. Like, this whole thing looks awesome, and I can't wait for more. But I'd love to hear your thoughts on the first episode of A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms, and if you want to check out my breakdown for that, that came out yesterday, so go check that out if you haven't. Once again, my name's Big Cam. If you guys want to message me on my other social media, those thoughts and opinions about this show, links for those down in the description below. And if you made it this far and you would like to support the channel, the best way of doing that is dropping a like on this video, commenting down in the comment section below, subscribing if you haven't already, and make sure you hit that bell so you don't miss future Game of Thrones content and breakdowns for A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms coming each week after the show airs. And I will see you beautiful people in the next episode. Peace!